Good morning. It's Brenda Quintana here. And for those of you who are joining me live, I'm sorry I'm half an hour late this morning. My family is, my husband is sick, and my son, even though he's living here right now, he's also sick up in Canada. And so this morning I had more things to do than I normally have to do in a morning, like running around getting things from my husband and texting my son to check in on him. And yeah, so it was kind of a crazy morning. And I'm glad that you are not joining me in my room because I feel like uh, um, who knows who's going to be sick next. I hope it's not going to be me. I've been like, my hands are so dry because I've been washing them so much. And maybe I should wear gloves or something. I don't know. But anyway, I hope your family members are not sick like mine are. And we're actually going up to see Nicholas on Friday. And I'm like, I don't know. I said to my husband, I don't know if you should just kiss me right now and give me the flu now so I can get over it before we go, because I have this awful feeling that I'm going to get the flu right before we have to go up. And then in that case, I don't know if I will travel up there because I don't want to get more people sick and I don't want to be sick while traveling. So it's not fun. Anyway, I hope you guys are all okay. I hope you're not sick. So I hope that for you. So let's talk about something positive besides illness and sickness this morning. Let's talk about card making. Let's talk about Casing Tuesday because it's Tuesday again, and I copied a card today, and yeah, I was working on it last night. And overnight, I had it kind of all laid out, and I wasn't quite happy with it. So this morning, I went around and changed it, and I'm actually really happy with it now. But I don't think it's a typical Brenda card, so that's a good thing because, again, pushing me out of my comfort zone is what Casing Tuesday does. It makes me do things a little differently than I would normally do them. So I hope that it challenges you as well if you are doing it and following along, because it is a way for you to do a different style of card and not always do what you normally do. So let me find my card here. Here's the card, and I'm sorry it's kind of off kilter a little bit, but we didn't have a really good image of the original card because, as you know, we do take copies out of the catalog to use for this challenge. That's the idea of the challenge. So what can I say about this card? I mean, this is the original card, and I would never create this card because this is definitely not a Brenda card, for sure not. I think the card I made is definitely more like me, but I think to me there's too much darkness. Like, I don't really like the black on the card. I probably would have recreated it with a different color, maybe taken that peacock color. It's not a bad card, it's just not my style. Honestly, not my style, which is okay. We can have styles and we can say things, and hopefully I haven't hurt anyone's feelings because it's a Stampin' Up artist and not hopefully someone I don't want to ever insult anyone. It's just about styles, right? And so we have to use that though. Like, I mean, I like the layout of the cards, so we can use that. So here's the sketch. So the sketch is kind of very basic, just rectangles and stuff. So you can get an idea of the measurements if you're new to card making, or maybe you have trouble with measurements. Like, I'm really good at measurements and some people aren't. And so there's the sketch, and you can find the sketch also on my blog and on our Facebook group. And as I'm speaking about the Facebook group, you know that you can join our Facebook group, and the link to do that is down below. And every week we have new members, and we have some new people that join in and actually do the challenge with us. And that's where the fun comes in, because we get to see everyone's interpretations of the card. So that's kind of the fun thing. So good morning to everyone who's joined me, Karen and Holly. Holly says she loves the challenges because they help her creativity, and that's exactly why I do them, because they help my creativity. I'm not a beginner, but it can be done by a beginner too. So that's the nice thing. It helps everyone, all different stages. It helps you think a little differently. Okay, let me switch. Oh, let me switch my camera around. For a moment, I had this horrible thought that I hadn't turned my camera on, that my sound wasn't working, but obviously you can hear me. I do have my camera set up, so let me turn this facing down. I'm gonna open up my window a little bit, get some extra light. Close this window here in the background. Sorry, you can't even see that, but I think hopefully that will bring us in a little bit more light. So here is my card, and instead of doing a dark label, I went a little lighter. On the inside, I think it looks a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more mellow. And I love this card because it's so whimsical. And you got that new Pleased as Punch paper. Isn't it pretty? It has, let me grab it. I had it. Where did I have my Pleased as Punch paper? Oh, there it is. Nope, it's not there. Oh, geez. I've lost, oh, there it is. Got it. It was right by my other desk. I think I showed it last week, but it's got the umbrellas and then the raindrops. It's got 4 different patterns, 4 different papers, 8 different patterns. Then the hearts and the kind of a gingham, almost a gingham type pattern. And then let's get through to the one that I use, which is this floral one, and it has the beautiful pastel rainbow on the back. And then there's one more. There's the tulips, and then this is the background for the tulips, this green color. So this paper is just perfect for spring projects. It's so pretty. And so today I used the florals, and it's just so much fun. And I grabbed the greeting from the Peaceful Moments stamp set, and it just says, thinking of you with all my heart. So last night I was thinking, I had this layered up a little differently, and I was thinking, oh, I think that would look really cool with a heart in the background. But I didn't want a Valentine's heart, so I chose some non-Valentine's colors, like purple with Coastal Cabana. Purple Posy with Coastal Cabana, I thought wouldn't really look very Valentine's-y, especially in this setting, so I chose different colors. I'm using the Stitch So Sweetly dies for my little label right here. And of course I have got my purple, my gorgeous grape right there. And I'm just gonna move this all aside, and I'm gonna show you how I made the card. So the first thing that we need to do is create this ribbon border punch. And this is made with the, oh my gosh, I think it's called the decorative, let me see if I can find it. Decorative Ribbon Border Punch. That's a long, long name. Anyway, I've always had a little trouble with this punch because I didn't know how to align it properly, and it kind of went wonkers on me sometimes. So I decided I would practice and figure out how to use it, because usually there is a way to use something, you just need to learn how. So this is what I came up with after punching many strips of little cardstock. So I took a piece of gorgeous grape cardstock and I cut it to 8.5 inches by 1/2 inch. So I'm using a big long length, not just the length that I need here. I'm going to punch this first, and then I'm going to cut this down to the right size that I need. So what I'll start off with is, this punch is already open. I'm going to stick it in, and I'm going to stick it in, when you slide in the side, you'll feel it kind of catch, and it's catching right on the edge of the bottom punch right there. Or if it doesn't really matter, if you have it a little bit further, like coming out a little bit on the side, that's fine too, because it's not going to actually get punched all the way through. So I just kind of push it in from the side till it catches. The real trick here is you want to make sure that this side is always staying flush with this guide bar right here, okay? And every time you shift, you're going to make sure it's flush with that. So we'll go ahead and we'll punch. And this punch is really much easier to do standing up and using the heel of your hand to punch. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like. So you're going to have this little edge sticking out here, right? That doesn't matter because we're going to cut it down afterwards. So it's just easier to do. So slide this back in, and now it's going to come through on this side. And you're going to line up those first two with the pattern. Make sure it lines up nicely with the pattern. And then on the left side, make sure the cardstock is flush with the left side. And then you're going to punch. So see how nice that looks? It's all lined up and even still. Okay, so now we're going to go, and there's going to be 3 scallops hanging off here. Okay, so 3 off the edge, and then still line up the pattern here, and then make sure that this one is flush on the left side with the guide bar. Punch down. Look, still all nice and lined. Now, it's not going to have enough length yet. At this point, we're at 5 inches. So we need to keep going one more time to get the rest of what we need, okay? So stick that back in there one more time. And so you're going to, if you're unsure of where to put it in, you need to have one that is kind of on the inside. So if this one is here, this one needs to be inside the punch. One of them that's already punched needs to be in there. So then you're gonna, again, line this up here. I'm pressing down here to make sure this is flat against the guide bar, and then punch one more time. And there we have it. Now I don't have to be scared to use this punch anymore because I just know I need to sacrifice a little bit more length of cardstock to get that longer piece. And maybe some of you have another tip that would work better for me. I don't know, but that's what I found worked the best. So let me just measure this. You could measure this, but I'm going to just cut off, let's cut off this end right here. And then I'm just going to come along here. I'm going to cut right through this dot here on this side. So I know this is approximately how long I need it. I might need to cut off a little bit at the end once I have this adhered down. Then I'm going to take a piece of that Pleased as Punch paper. This one measures 5.5 by 3.5. I'm going to take some Terran tape, flip this over, and put this right down here, right along the edge. I find it easier to add my punched piece with a little Terran tape than I do with any other adhesive. So just pull that down, and I'm going to grab the liner off. So now I'm going to just line this up. I'm going to cover up the dots and then lay this down on here like that. Oh, it's kind of sticking to my work surface because I've got a little bit still of the Terran tape adhesive sticking out. And now I can go ahead and trim this up so it's level with my paper. See, it's just sticking out just a little bit. So just trim that up so it's flush with the paper. So that is all ready to go onto my piece. So let me grab my cardstock before I adhere this to something else. This is my card base. It's in Purple Posy. And even though we don't have a Purple Posy ink pad because they couldn't get the ink formulation right, Purple Posy cardstock is just beautiful. And I've been using it a lot lately. So don't feel like you can't use the cardstock. We've got Purple Posy alcohol markers. We've got, what else do we have? do we have ribbon? Yes, we have ribbon. So there's products that coordinate with this that still work really well. So this card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and I pre-scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just gonna grab my bone folder and smooth it down so it's not sticking up so much. Okay, then I'll take Tombow, because Tombow's my preferred adhesive. Use whatever you want. I'm just using a light bead of Tombow. And then I'm going to add this. The top has about 1/8 of an inch sticking out. So just kind of eyeball it and give it about 1/8 of an inch. And then smooth it down. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some punched shapes. So I'm going to take, this is from the Heart Punch Pack, and I'll take the scallop punch and punch one out of Coastal Cabana, and then the smooth heart punch I'm going to punch out of Purple Posy. And then we're going to adhere these two together. Now you can probably already tell that the majority of the hard work of this card is done by that very pretty paper, because I won't have to do a lot of stamping on this card. If you wanted to, you could do a background paper just by stamping flowers over and over again in different colors. It would take a while. I would maybe do like a whole sheet and then cut it up and use it for different purposes. But this paper is just awesome. I'm just so happy to have it because it really saves you time. All right, so then I'm going to adhere my heart to kind of a little off center. It's not quite centered, but maybe 1/2 inch from the edge of the paper and just a little bit off center. I'm using my guide here, this punch right here, as a guide to kind of getting it in the right spot. And then just kind of press down. Next, we're going to deal with the baker's twine. So I've got the baker's twine, and what I want to do is wrap it around twice. All right, so I've kind of got it all loosey-goosey around here. I want to make sure I have enough to tie the bow with, so I'm trying to even it out a little bit. This isn't hard, it's just a little fumbly. Fumbly probably isn't a word, but it accurately describes what I am doing right now. So I want these to kind of be a little bit spread apart. And what I'm going to do is I'll do kind of a knot, like just one knot. I haven't double knotted it yet. And then I'm going to do a knot around this piece because I kind of want these two to kind of come together, and then I'm going to spread those apart. So to help me with this are my little tweezers. So I'm coming together, kind of created a knot, and I'm going to clamp down. It's not doing a great job, but kind of holding it there. And I'm going to knot that up there like that. See if I can get this moved just a little bit. It's being a little bit fumbly. So you can kind of see what I did. I wrapped it around twice, and then I brought it together and knotted it right here in the center, so that now I can spread apart these baker's twine ends a little bit. And if you don't have it quite where you want it, you can kind of shift it just a little bit so that it's, I want it I want it just where I want it, just a little bit to the left of the center of that heart. Okay, so I can wait. Should I go ahead and tie it? Yeah, I may as well go ahead and tie it now because it's easier. So I'm just going to tie myself a little bow right now. And then just play a little bit maybe with the ends. And I'll leave that for a moment. And now I'm going to stamp my greeting. And I've already cut a little piece of the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And let me see, I think it's the second smallest one of these dies right here. And then I'll take my gorgeous grape. And if you do this at home, it might be easier to stamp first and then use the framelit or the die right around there and then run it through the Big Shot. But rather than bring my Big Shot over and die cut it in front of you, I'm going to hope that I can do this somewhat straight. Let's see. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it will do. Like I said, it's easier with this if you stamp first and then run through the die cut machine second, because then you can get a really good centering. And then I'm going to just add some dimensionals to this piece. I don't know, today I'm just going wild with the dimensionals. That's a lot of dimensionals, but I used regular Whisper White rather than thick Whisper White. And so I feel like I need to bolster up the bottom of this Whisper White piece a little bit more than I would normally do. Okay. Whoop. So bring this in here. And I'm just going to kind of finagle it down into place. I think the key here is you want to make sure that it's level with your edges so it doesn't look wonky. And then bring your little bow back into to focus. Get it the way you want it. And then you can trim off the ends a little bit. And there is the card. What do you think? Some kind of unusual colors for me, right? And maybe a little bit unusual style, or maybe not. Maybe there's still Brenda underneath these cards compared to the original card. I don't know. Let me see. I wanna like bring up. Wonder if I can do this without. Oh, you know what I can do? Where is the original card? It's in one of my catalogs. Let me see if I can grab that catalog. Where are you? I swear. Oh, there it is. Every day. The catalogs travel around my room in different ways, and okay, here is the original card. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'll do this. Do this. So you can kind of see there is the original card, right? And it's got. I found that middle piece too dark. Like the flowers look so fun and bright, and then you have that dark in there. It just didn't sit well with me. But then you have this card, and you can kind of tell it's kind of got the same flair as this card, but it's not quite as dark and foreboding. I don't know. I probably would have put a different color instead of black. Other than that, I like the card, but I have trouble sometimes using black. And there's some cards that I love when people do them and they're black. Gosh, I really love them. But I tend not to create a lot with black. Maybe that's something that I need to get over, huh? Something I need to work on, using black. But I didn't like that usage of black. So when other people do cards with black and I love them, then I want to do them. So that's good. But you have to know what you like, right? So, okay, let me see. I'm going to go back and say hello to everyone that's joined me. Hello, Betty. Good morning. Okay, Betty says she has that punch and hasn't used it yet. Do you mean that ribbon border punch? I have tried to use it several times, and I guess I must have been in a rush because I just didn't have time to like figure it out properly. And then I just last night I was like, I am determined to use this punch because other people use it so well. I just need to figure out how to use it and so that it's not wonkers, right? Like I hate it when you have a punch and then you have like it's crooked. So if you're patient like me and just move a longer piece along the edge, you can really do a nice job. So it's you just need to know how to use it. All right. Oh, and hello, Marie. Thank you for joining me. And I know I have some other people here too that haven't said hello, and I don't want to make you feel bad or anything, but if I haven't said hello to you, it's because I can only see you if they're on this on my screen, because I'm streaming through a software. I can only see you if you comment to me. So if I haven't said hello to you, that's why. Okay, so Betty says, yes, the ribbon border punch. Yeah, practice with it because it's so pretty if you can learn how to use it, right? So I hope you'll join me over on our Facebook page. Maybe this week will be the week that you do a card with us. I hope you will. And if you're looking for any of the supplies I talked about today, look down below in the description of this video and you will find everything that you need there. And yeah, thank you so much. If you're a customer or if you're a follower, I really appreciate you guys because it's so nice to do a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live and have people with me, and that just makes me happy. So I'm wishing you all a happy, healthy week. Just a little note, next Tuesday I won't be here. Hopefully I will be traveling back from Canada, and I will be healthy, and it will be a travel day, so there's no possible way for me to do a Facebook Live on that day. I already have my card made though, so I will post it on that day. I just won't be doing a Facebook Live, so I will join you then the following Tuesday. All right, guys. Have a great week and stay healthy. Wash your hands. That's my what do you call it, infomercial for today is wash your hands lots every time you go outside into the world. Wash those hands because it's a germy world out there right now. Oh, thank you, Catherine. I'm so glad you liked the card. Okay, guys, have a great week, and hopefully I will have time to do before I leave on my trip on Friday. Want to do an Easter project for you before I leave. Not sure what day it's going to be. Right now my week is a little wonkers because of everything that's going on, but I want to do a little Easter project before I leave. I'll do it on my YouTube channel. All right, take care. Bye-bye.